Well, hey, this is Rhonda Simmons, and I am the founder and CEO of the Simmons Empowerment Foundation. And welcome to another edition of Empowered Heart to Heart. I am so excited. Yes, I keep saying that every episode, and you knew I was going to say it. Well, I'm excited today because I have a special guest, and she is so special indeed. So I want you to make sure if you're watching me by video that you like, comment, and share this video. If you're watching us on YouTube or on our social media platforms, make sure that you like, comment, and share this video because you will not want to miss this episode. Also, if you are looking for us on social media, you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Twitter. And our handle is TSEFIORG. It's right there on the bottom of the screen. You want to make sure that you're staying in contact with us because we don't want you to miss anything. We want you to know every time a new episode drops so that you can be informed, you can be empowered and encouraged. And I am just absolutely thrilled to have our guest with us today. And this is a special episode because I'm going to be doing some coaching. I know you don't get a chance to witness the coaching too often because it's coaching. But it is a good thing, and I'm really excited about our guest who's agreed to be here. As you watch and listen to this episode, and if you're listening on the radio, KRGN 98.5 FM, thank you so much. If you're listening or watching this episode, I want you to be noticing some things because everyone's life journey is very different and we're all in different places along that journey. But here's the thing, just like my coaching practice is called Dear Future Me, the coaching program, there's always something else. There's always something next. Where we are today is not all there is. And so you want to really pay attention. Excuse me. You want to really pay attention to how we move through that process of figuring out what's next and how do we get there. So make sure you notice and you pay special attention to our coaching journey today. Well, without any further ado, I'd like to introduce to you my very special guest, Miss Connie Inukai. Hello, Connie. How are you?
Hi, Rhonda. Thank you for having me on your podcast. And I'm
Thank
excited to be
you.
working
Yes,
with you.
yes, I am thrilled. I am thrilled. Ladies and gentlemen, Connie is very special. She is a TEDx speaker. She has done so many wonderful things in her life. And so, Connie, you can tell about your life a little bit more than I can. Just before we get into our coaching session, can you tell us just a little bit about yourself and the things that you're most proudest of?
Okay, so I was a college writing professor for 40 years at the University of Maryland and at Johns Hopkins University. And I retired actually at age 68 because I became an inventor and I wanted to focus on inventing. And then I invented a product. And you want to see my product? Here's my
Sure.
here's my product. It's called Tip and Split. I invented this for old people because most people have inventions for young people. But as you get older, our eyes get worse. And I noticed that when I go out to a restaurant and I see other people eating in a restaurant, they can't read the menu. So they go like that or like that. So this device has a magnifier on it. It has a light because I always have to look for a candle, and it can also figure out a tip and split the bill in 3 seconds. So I invented that product. And then I was a writing teacher, and I tried to hire a publicist to help me promote, to get visibility for my product. And all I did was spend money, and they really got me nothing. So I got my own publicity. And then I wrote a book about it to help other inventors or entrepreneurs. And the name of my book is How I Got My Product on QVC, The Today Show, The View, and More in my retirement. Okay. So I gave tips on how to get your own publicity. So then during COVID, I started a new project because my device is to eat in restaurants. And as we know, all the restaurants were closed at the beginning, and I didn't want to encourage older people to go out to eat. So I started a new project. And my new project is called Write Your Selfie. And because I was just sitting at home, afraid to go anyplace. So my new project is I gathered pictures of me growing up, and I put them all in a book. And it's really based on pictures because I want my grandkids to know about me. So this is one of my favorite things that I didn't even know because my mother never told me. These are her parents, my grandparents. And it says, I have pictures and captions. The caption is, Grandma Ella and Grandpa Arthur moved to the United States from Poland. They missed the ship over to the United States in 1912 because Ella was pregnant and had morning sickness. The ship they missed was the Titanic. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
So after I'm gone, nobody's going to know that story and so many other stories in my book. Okay.
Wow.
I want, whenever I see my grandkids, they look at my book first and they always ask me a question about one of the pages.
Yes. Yes.
So these are my children, and the oldest one is now 45 years old. But I have pictures of them so that their children can see them. So everybody wants to write their story, but nobody knows how to get started. So
Connie,
I help them from start to finish to write, and I call it Write Your Selfie because young people take selfies all the time, which are pictures. Old people don't take selfies. So this is their chance to write their selfie.
Connie, you are amazing. Oh my goodness. You are absolutely amazing. Just in that little snippet about your life, I mean, my brain is going all over the place. And yes, we're going to get to the coaching part in just a minute. But oh my goodness, what a wonderfully rich life you have. And you have built a legacy that will live beyond you.
So
Go
yeah,
ahead.
so one more thing about me is that I'm constantly reinventing myself, but I see so many people my age who don't know what to do when they're retired or older, like over 70. Okay, they don't know what to do. And there's only so much Netflix you can watch. so
Say that again for the people in the back.
so I try to encourage them to start a business because it keeps you young.
Yes. Yes. Wow. Wow. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I asked Connie before our coaching session to write down a quick list of the top 10 things that she that brings her the most joy in her life. And her list was wonderful. It was amazing. But if we could narrow it down to one thing, what brings you the absolute most joy in your life, Connie?
My grandkids.
Yes.
Okay. I have to say that I love my grandkids. And I have 3 of them that live in Maryland near me. And I try to see them as much as possible. And just yesterday, I took my little Victoria to gymnastics. And it gives me so much joy watching her. Every time she does a little apparatus there, she smiles at me and I give her a thumbs up. So they get, and my grandkids in California, I have 3 superstars in California. The oldest one is 11, and he's I think ranked number 5 in California for tennis.
Oh wow!
And then
Wonderful.
all three of them play tennis, and the two younger ones play basketball. And I'll tell you, I was in California a few weeks ago, and it was the most amazing thing because they're all kind of small, like this, like a head shorter than everyone else on the team. But everyone passes the basketball to my grandchildren, and then they shoot. And whenever they pass it to someone else, somebody steals it from them. So they just always pass it to an Inukai. So I love watching that.
That is fantastic. That is wonderful. That is wonderful. So, Connie, here we are in our coaching session, and your life is so beautiful and wonderful and rich. The question remains, what are your goals in this session to help you get to the next level and to do something else? Because you said just a few minutes ago that you constantly reinvent yourself. So, what are your goals for this coaching session today?
Okay, so I guess I want some clarity, and I am constantly reinventing, and so I gave my TEDx talk to empower other seniors on how to live a retirement lifestyle that they enjoy. So I'm thinking now about mine. What is my next step? Every step has been great. And so I was thinking about, I am retired. I can do whatever I want to do. So I'm going to, maybe use your guidance, but I have a list of things I want to do. One of them is a lot of retirees go on cruises, right? Because they have the time. I want to be speaking on those cruises. So they will pay me to be on the cruise, and I get to mingle with other people as the speaker. So I guess I want your input.
Okay. All right. Well, that sounds great. So, you want to be a speaker on a cruise, specifically for senior citizens?
It's almost all senior citizens who take cruises.
Yes.
But I would go on one that's primarily for senior citizens.
Okay. All righty. And I'm looking down because I'm writing. I'm just trying to make some notes to make sure I'm tracking what you said. And so if I heard you correctly, you want you want to discuss how to basically go from here to making that happen.
Yeah, if you have any wise advice for me, that would be wonderful.
Okay. So here's a question for you, Connie. With all that you have done and accomplished so far in your amazing life, even though those things didn't have anything to do with being a speaker on a cruise, do you find any common themes or actions that you took that could apply to this too?
I'm just figuring that out. I just got my TEDx talk uh, published, and I'm hoping that people will hear this podcast. And if anybody has any connections with a cruise line, they can connect me.
Absolutely.
So what have I done to do this? Well, I'm still thinking. Okay, I think this is a normal progression because most people, when they get older, we have more time. I don't have a lot of time, but I am a senior citizen, and so I would love to take a cruise myself, and especially if they pay me to be, if I don't have to pay to be on the cruise.
Wow.
So how
Okay.
do I do that? I'm just trying to figure it out.
Okay. All right. That's wonderful. Have have you made any connections with any speaking organizations that support women and or seniors?
Not yet.
Okay. Okay.
I'm writing it down though.
Good.
I'm just
Good.
starting, so I'm writing it down.
All righty. Well, that's wonderful. Well, let me ask you this, because coaching, what it is, first and foremost, it is intensive conversations through questioning that that help you discover what your next steps are. Um, what coaching is not, it is not prescriptive in that we tell you the answers, or we um, prescribe or diagnose any sort of health issue, anything like that. Coaching is very supportive and is very, very client centered. And so that's why I'm asking you a whole lot of questions. Um, so, I'm smiling here. I'm smiling here because, if I may, push pause for a moment on the coaching part to share something with you. May I tell you something that I have recently learned about cruising?
Yes.
And I'm only mentioning this to you because you, based upon everything that you've told me about your wonderful life, you are a a trendsetter, you are an inventor, which tells me that you're not waiting for things to happen to you. You make things happen.
Yes.
So, with that in mind, I have recently found out that you can host cruises yourself. And as you know, of course, they're themed, and they can be fundraisers. It sounds like you probably have your own company. Um, and so you can host cruises, and actually it can be a fundraiser for your, for your company. But it also gives you an opportunity where you're creating your own platform exactly in the arena where you want.
And maybe you're going to tell me how I can do that.
Well, and again, this is not normally a part of the coaching session, but because we're having such a direct conversation, you would go through a travel agent, and I can definitely give you one that I'm working with, and she's not affiliated with my business at all, but I can definitely pass along her name and number to you. But I found that out by scrolling in the middle of the night when I had the idea about cruising. I'm scrolling, and cruise lines promote it. They like it when people host cruises, and so it is quite a possibility for you
So
to be able.
Rhonda, maybe we can host one together.
Well, it's definitely worth talking about. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me just push pause just for a second. Um, One of the things about coaching is that, yes, there are some standards and norms that happen in a coaching session and in the coaching environment. But above all, because it is so client oriented, you have to follow the leading of your client, and go with them where they take you. And this was a situation where Connie wanted some direct answers. And so it's important that we maintain that communication and that sensitivity to our clients' needs. So I don't want anyone to think that, oh my goodness, she told her what to do, and it's not that simple. And so I'm excited, Connie, that you're going to do this. I fully expect that this is going to happen for you. Um, and so the great thing while I'm talking about cruising is that there is no upfront cost to you
Mhm.
to host the cruise, and which is wonderful. That's a good thing too. And so, uh, do you have a lot of friends who want to cruise or that cruise all the time?
No, I don't
Okay,
know so many people who cruise all the time.
okay.
I'm kind of focused on the business area, and I hang out with people who are a lot younger than I am because I'm a business owner.
Well, wonderful, wonderful. Well, believe it or not, I have not been on a cruise yet. I'm scheduled to go on one in February, and It's exciting because from what I'm told, everybody loves cruising.
Except you eat too much.
Well, if you don't count the calories, are they really there?
I've
I'm
been on a
thinking,
few cruises and they offer meals like every day. And then they have those ice cream machines you can go to. They have midnight snacks where they have lots of shrimps and it's all day long.
wow, that sounds wonderful. So let's get back into coaching mode. So here's my question. Why this goal? Why is this important to you?
Why is it important to me? Because I'm trying to move my business forward. My business is called Grandmaprenuer, and I try to encourage people to find something they love to do. And that's something that I think everybody would love to do it. So if I help organize it, I think it would be great. I don't know how to do it yet, but I'm taking notes. And by the way, this is a notebook that one of my friends gave me that I'm writing down notes in. And it says, "My someday is now." Don't you like that?
Yes, yes, I love it. I love it. I tell you, Connie, you are the grandma that we all aspire to be. That is wonderful. That is wonderful. So, when you accomplish this goal of being a speaker on a cruise for seniors, how will you feel?
Fantastic. Because I never heard of this hosting cruises. And I thank you for telling me about that. But just as everything else I do, nobody does it. Or they do it differently, like my tip and split. Nobody ever thought about doing that. And my write your selfie. Lots of people do memory books. Lots of people do scrapbooks, but nobody does it exactly like I do. And so this is something that some people can host cruises, but I don't think anyone's going to do it the way I'm going to do it.
I
To
don't
have
doubt that.
to
I
have a
don't think they
speaker
will.
there and to have all these people. I have two ideas for my cruise, to speak
Okay.
on a cruise. One of them is I can talk to them about different ideas that they can do in their retirement. And the other one is I can give them a workshop of how to write their life story. And at the beginning of the cruise, they just have an idea. And at the end of the cruise, they have their book.
Oh my goodness, that is wonderful. That is wonderful. Wow.
So,
So,
yeah,
wow. So, how did you arrive at this conclusion? It's obvious from everything that you said about being a TEDx speaker, that you're in the speaking industry. But how did you arrive that you wanted to do it on a cruise? You could have taken your speaking anywhere else. What?
I know. I just got that idea last night.
We have so much in common.
I,
That's
I
wonderful.
really got the idea last night. And
Okay.
I always act quickly. For example, the minute I got my TEDx talk, I got invited to do a TEDx talk about 6 months ago. And then it took a long time before I wrote my speech. Okay. But while I was doing it, I wrote a book. And my book is called Retirement: Dream Big, Take Action, Make Money. And so the reason I want to do speaking is because I can sell my book.
Yes, yes, you can.
So when did I get the idea of cruise ships? Actually, I thought about it about a year ago, but I kind of put it on hold. And just last night, I was trying to think of where I can do speaking, because a lot of people, like I have a gig to be at a Rotary Club, but you don't get paid for it. And I don't know if it would be so interesting for people. Um, uh, 3 weeks ago, I spoke at the United States Patent and Trademark Office, which is in Washington, D.C. I was so honored because I didn't know anybody, and they picked three inventors to speak, and the other two were on Shark Tank, and I wasn't on Shark Tank, and I'm the one who got all the questions and all the applause. So I love speaking.
Yeah.
Everyone said I'm a natural, so
Yeah.
I loved it. And
Mhm.
so then I'm trying to, I think the question is, when did I get the idea? Well, sometimes that times things fit together. I want an audience of people who have the time to take a cruise, and maybe they want to do a little bit something else in their life. And I think I'm an example of you can do other things. And you don't even have to make money having a business. I don't really make a lot of money on my invention. I sell it for $10. I don't make any money on that. And then I don't make a lot on my Write Your Selfie book because I haven't really promoted it. And there's nothing if you don't promote it. But uh, I tell people that by starting a business, it keeps you younger.
Yes. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. So I have a question then. Do you already have a base of supporters, a following that you keep in touch with? Maybe you send out a newsletter or anything?
No, I haven't done all of this is happening so quickly. And my weakness is technology. I have a MailChimp email account, but I don't really have any people on it. I think I have 15 friends on it. And I'm just going to hire somebody who can help me do a newsletter or something like that.
Okay.
So I don't really have anything, but you have to start someplace.
Yes, yes. Well, I tell you, Connie, I think one of the bigger reasons I think we have connected so well is because of our ability to share information and resources. None of us are islands, and I personally believe that nothing happens by chance. And now I'm going to step out of coaching mode again because I do have some things we can talk about after the recording, just for a few minutes, that may help to get you started in creating that nucleus of supporters that you can start building and growing your list, your subscriber list, because of the common theme that you have to help seniors, so that gives you an audience, because you want to create an audience. Um, I tell you, this has just been a wonderful session. So here's what I've heard you say. You've told us what you want to do, and
I
that
just
you,
thought of it. I mean, I'm not sure, but I
mhm,
think it sounds like a perfect match for me.
yes, yes, it sounds wonderful. You're so adventurous, and I know we just met, but wow, your life is just exciting, very, very exciting. Um, and so we've got the end goal. The end goal is speaking on a cruise for seniors, and we've talked about
By the way, it doesn't have to be seniors.
okay,
People who are 50 are maybe thinking about leaving their 9 to 5 and starting a business.
yes, yes.
So I'm not
Well,
going to exclude those people. I won't even exclude a 30-year-old if they want to start a business.
absolutely, absolutely. So that is fantastic. That is fantastic. One of the things, as as we start to head towards the end of this session, one of the things that is so important is being clear on your mission and your why, because that's what will guide you in every decision that you have to make. And I'm just so thrilled. You said that you're doing what you don't think anyone else is doing, and you definitely have a story to tell. And so it's a matter of logistics. How do I make it happen? And
Right.
okay, okay. And so even though we obviously have not solved the entire, A to Z solution, do you feel like you've gotten any ideas to help you start that journey of bringing your dream into reality?
You're incredible. Rhonda, you are absolutely incredible because while you're talking, I'm writing notes because you listen to everything I say and then you give me your feedback, which is incredible because not everybody can do that. But I believe you can do that. You're
Well,
kind
thank
of in tune with my situation.
well, thank you. And like I explained to the audience, most of the time in coaching, we don't go to that direct level of feedback like that because it's all about helping the client reach their own point of self-discovery. However, you didn't come to this coaching session, empty. You knew what you wanted, and you were very specific about it. And so, for me to ignore what you were wanting and what your goals were for the session, it would have been a waste of your time. And so I just wanted to have a chance to talk with you. And I am just so excited. You've been a tremendous guest today, Connie. And I know every one of us who are listening or watching this podcast episode, we're jealous. I'm just going to say it for all of us. We are so jealous
Why?
because you've got this wonderful life of adventure and it just wonderful
Uh-huh.
places to
That's
be.
why I retired. I retired because I was so anxious to start on my adventures
Mhm.
and not knowing what I was going to be doing. I had no idea that I wanted to become a speaker. None,
Well,
none. But I just kind of evolve. And when somebody gives me an idea or when I think about something, I act on it. So
yes.
that's what I would encourage everybody. If you have clients, listen to Rhonda.
Uh,
Tell her what you like, and she will see it and guide you.
oh
Even
my.
though she can't tell you what to do, she's a great coach.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much for that shout out, Connie. I really appreciate it. So we're going to wrap up this session, and hopefully we'll get a chance to talk some more after the session. And so I'll wrap up, and if you'll hang out just for a minute, I'll get
Sure.
right back with you.
Thank
Okay?
you. Thank you. And thank you to everybody who's listening.
Yes. Thanks for being on the show. Ladies and gentlemen, oh my goodness, Connie is goals. Oh my goodness. She's everything I want to be in this stage of my life. And I am so glad between me and you that she said her cruises would be available for uh, people who are like 50 and wanting to start a business or in business. Um, I'm not going to say that that applies to me, but I'm just saying for a friend. I'm so excited. I would love to hear more about Connie's life. And most importantly, her life at the heart of it all, it seems like she's all about building a legacy. How does she want to be remembered? What does she want people to say to her at her 80th birthday? And at her 90th birthday, what type of life does she want to have? And she's creating it. She is a self-starter. She is making things happen, and you can too. But you have to tap into the things that bring you the most joy and connect those things to your purpose. What is your purpose in life? And so we can talk about that even more. Somewhere around this link will be, excuse me, somewhere around this video will be the link to my coaching practice where you can set up a call and we can talk about what your goals are and what your life purpose is. And if you're not sure, that's okay. We can work through it because life is too short not to know why you're here. So I'm glad you tuned in. I'm glad you watched or listened to us. Make sure you're tuning in every single week because we offer those messages of hope, conversations that heal, and interviews that empower. And now we also offer some coaching that you can watch and connect with. So I hope you got something out of our coaching session today with Connie in Nukai. She's a wonderful person, and I'm looking forward to hearing the great things because I think she's going to make the news. I really do. So keep watching, and we'll see you next time.